Fulfilled prophecies, world empires according to Daniel chapter 2 and chapter 7, part 1. As already announced in the video Prophecy from the Old Testament, the Basics, this video deals with already fulfilled prophecies given in Daniel chapter 2 and 7 about the world empires. In addition to confirmation by texts in the Bible, some major events were also confirmed historically and archaeologically. The world empires according to Daniel chapter 2 and 7. In general, it can be said that chapters 2 and 7 in the book of Daniel form a unit. Walter Veit described it as a coloring picture, with Daniel chapter 2 drawing the outlines of the events, and chapter 7 reflecting the interior, i.e. the details. Daniel chapter 2 describes a dream that Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian ruler of the time, had. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that the stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. Daniel 2, 31-35. In Daniel chapter 7, the prophet Daniel himself had a dream. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man. And a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Daniel 7, 2-8. Although both dreams have different symbolism, single sections of a statue in Daniel chapter 2, as opposed to beasts in Daniel chapter 7, both, as we will see shortly, refer to one and the same thing. What is Daniel chapter 2 and chapter 7 about? And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, Daniel 7:3. And considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, Daniel 7:8. Beasts and horns are described. What is a beast or a horn in the symbolism of prophecy in the Bible? These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth, Daniel 7:17. Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom, Daniel 7:23. The ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, Daniel 8:20-21. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, Revelation 17:12. So both beasts and horns refer to kings or kingdoms. Where will these kingdoms appear? Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea, and 4 great beasts came up from the sea. Daniel 7, 2-3. So these kingdoms will appear in the sea. What is meant by the sea? A sea is nothing other than an accumulation of a large amount of water. What does the Bible say about water with regard to prophecy? And he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Revelation 17:15. So the waters represent peoples, multitudes, nations and tongues. A sea is therefore an area where many different peoples, multitudes, nations and languages meet. Which area is meant? To answer this question, we need to put ourselves in the shoe of the prophet Daniel. He lived around 600 BC in the area of Jerusalem, or in what was then Babylon, modern-day Iraq. According to the knowledge of the time, he only knew the Old World, i.e. Europe, Africa and Asia. Accordingly, these three continents must be meant in the prophecy, where the kingdoms will appear one after the other. As these kingdoms encompassed the entire world at that time, they were referred to below as world empires. The first world empire. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold. Daniel 2, 31-32. Thou, O king, art the King of kings, for the God of heaven has given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven has he given into thine hand, and has made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. Daniel 2, 37-38. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Daniel 7:4. Here Nebuchadnezzar is referred to as the head of gold. Daniel 2, 37-38. He was the king of the Babylonian Empire, for whose building gold was often used. The first empire is also described as a lion with eagle's wings. At the time of Daniel, around 600 BC, Babylon was the ruling power. They used the lion with eagle wings as a symbol. You can still see this today when you visit the Ishtar Gate in the Pergamon Museum in Berlin. This clearly identifies the First World Empire, 605 to 539 BC, Babylon. The Second World Empire, his breast and his arm of silver, Daniel 2:32. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, Daniel 2:39. And behold another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And it said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh, Daniel 7:5. The Second World Empire followed the first, Daniel 2:39, resembled a bear, and had 3 ribs in its mouth, Daniel 7:5. The Babylonian Empire was conquered by Cyrus II, king of Persia, in 539 BC. The bear erected on one side refers to 2 parts, the larger kingdom of Persia and the lower kingdom of the Medes, which together formed an alliance. This empire used silver as indicated by Daniel 2:32 in its economy. The 3 ribs are generally regarded as the conquest of the 3 great kingdoms at that time. 547 BC, the kingdom of Lydia, 539 BC, the kingdom of Babylon, and 525 BC, the kingdom of Egypt. This clearly identifies the Second World Empire, 539 to 331 BC, Medo-Persia. The Third World Empire, his belly and his size of brass, Daniel 2:32. And another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth, Daniel 2:39. And after this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it, Daniel 7:6. In 331 BC, Alexander the Great defeated the Persian king Darius III at the Battle of Gaugamela, resulting in the complete conquest of the Persian Empire. Greece was thus another third kingdom, Daniel 2:39. The corresponding metal brass, Daniel 2:32, was part of the armor, linen armor, of the Greek army. The wings of a fowl, Daniel 7:6, are interpreted as the speed of Alexander's conquests. After his death, his 4 generals, the 4 heads, Daniel 7:6, divided the empire between them. Cassander over Macedonia, Lysimachus over Thrace, Ptolemy I Soter over Egypt, and Seleucus I Nicator over Syria. This clearly identifies the Third World Empire, 331 to 168 BC, Greece. The Fourth World Empire. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Daniel 2:40. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Daniel 7:7. In 168 BC, the Romans won the Battle of Pydna against the Greek king Perseus, which resulted in the complete conquest of Greece. The Roman Empire was thus the fourth kingdom, Daniel 2:40. The associated metal iron, Daniel 2:40, was part of the weapons and armor of the Roman army. It also went down in history as Iron Rome due to the harshness and intolerance with which other nations were subjugated. Another reference is that it was different from the previous beasts and had 10 horns. It was quite different from all the previous beasts and had 10 horns. Daniel 7:7. Unlike the other 3 beasts, the Roman Empire was not a pure kingdom, but had different forms of government throughout history, so that it was quite different from all previous beasts. Daniel 7:7. The 10 horns provide an additional clue. The Western Roman Empire breaks up into 10 kingdoms after its collapse. The disintegration of the Western Roman Empire into 10 dominions, and the 10 horns signify that out of that empire 10 kings shall arise. Daniel 7:24. The Alemanni, the present-day Germany, the Burgundians, the present-day Switzerland, the Franks, present-day France, the Lombards, the present-day Italy, the Saxons, present-day England, the Suebi, the present-day Portugal, the Visigoths, the present-day Spain, the Heruli are no longer in existence today, the Vandals are also no longer in existence today, and the Ostrogoths are no longer in existence today too. This clearly identifies the Fourth Empire, 168 BC to 476 AD, the Roman Empire, or more precisely, the Western Roman Empire. The Fifth World Empire. And I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Daniel 7:8. So after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, a Fifth World Empire arises. This is dealt with in the second part. Even today there are many prophecies that are being fulfilled right now before our eyes, and many have longed to see. For verily I say unto you, many prophets and righteous men have desired to see the things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear the things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Matthew 13:17. You too can see and hear the prophecies fulfilling right now before our eyes. For more information, see the video description. Do you listen to God's voice?